Hi again. Uh, this time we're going to talk a little bit about why Marlowe. So its mission, the narrative of Marlowe, which is basically Marlowe is first and foremost a domain-specific language that makes it really easy to write and implement financial smart contracts. What this does is it creates a blockchain-specific way to replicate key financial service processes by making smart contract development really easy. Now, we have a suite of developer and user-facing products that highlight the potential of Marlowe. So currently we have the Playground, which is a tool for developers to write, simulate, end-to-end financial smart contracts with ease in a choice of programming languages, including a visual tool. The second is Marlowe Run, which is a tool for end users to execute and visualize their financial agreements using off-the-shelf templates for peer-to-peer loans, escrows, and swaps. This is complete by step-to-step walkthroughs and explainers. So let's get into a little bit about what problems Marlowe is solving. So one of the things we see in the ecosystem at large is that low-code solutions for building smart contracts just aren't good enough. They're expensive, they're complex, and often time-consuming. So Marlowe addresses this in many ways, as you'll see during this course. The second problem is there's a great difficulty in showing complex real-world use cases of smart contracts. These processes that we're trying to replicate are usually so complex in themselves that they can't be easily mapped to smart contracts, let alone prototyped and demoed for getting buy-in with the respective businesses. So the next problem is that we see that various parts of Cardano are not yet fully or well integrated. So that's like wallets, light wallets, identity, metadata exchange protocols. And we want to provide or pave one route to that with Marlowe. The next part is we think financial innovation is happening in three parallel spaces, that of TradFi, DeFi, and the ever nascent RealFi. And this is really the kernel of our ecosystem approach. The problem here is that since they're operating in parallel, the best practices cannot be shared, progress is slow, and each industry finds it very hard to learn from each other, let alone can express their desire in a clear and coherent way. So we want to do two things with Marlowe. We want to proliferate new ways of thinking and application within these worlds. So within DeFi, within TradFi, and within RealFi. But we also want to make it easier to import and export ideas and best practices between these worlds, because I think that's where we imagine the most progress comes from. So we're currently also working on a blog post that elaborates on this vision for a growing ecosystem, and hope we manage to finish that during the course of the Pioneer program, so you have a good outlook of it. And the last thing I'd like to talk about with regards to this is the real-world application of Marlowe itself, which is probably something that excites a lot of the team the most. So in week 8, we'll be looking at this mock incubator sort of style workshop. And think of this as an opportunity, as a head start, basically, into pragmatically thinking about business ideas, pain points, and solutions in the context of Marlowe and understanding its wide range of utility. So we know that Marlowe can be used for smart contracts, templates, it can introduce standards, formal verification, etc. So we'd like for you to take this opportunity to test Marlowe's flexibility beyond the obvious. So really go through with different use cases, and we'll be publishing some details about that in the coming weeks. And this is basically going to be a session which will be worked on iteratively throughout the course, and we'll deal with some of the formalities in session 8 itself. Now I'll pass the ball to Pablo, who will talk about the technical overview of the product suite. Thank you, and see you again in the Q&A.